The government, having been utterly defeated on the turf ban, are now maintaining absurd whiffs of the policy simply to save face and prevent a green mutiny. This is SCALLAN and you're watching Gript Media. Before we start the video, if you want to support Gript and our work, make sure to click like, subscribe and comment, even if you have absolutely nothing to say. Just comment an Irish politician you'd want to have a pint with or something. Because by liking, commenting and sharing, this channel gets boosted in the algorithm and is seen by more people. So if you want to see this channel grow, just take 2 seconds right now to like, comment and do your part to support independent journalism. And with that said, on to the video. The government's attempted turf ban will no doubt go down as one of the biggest political L's in Irish history, up there with the 1982 Fine Gael tax on children's shoes. And having metaphorically stepped in dog waste, the government now has to walk around awkwardly dragging their feet to scrape off any residue of the policy. As reported by RTE, the regulations, which are set to be signed into law in the coming days, will allow people with turf cutting rights to sell that turf or to gift it to others. However, turf sales cannot be advertised and it cannot be sold in retail settings. So they've conceded basically everything. You can cut turf, you can sell turf, you can give turf as a gift, but shops can't sell it and you can't advertise it, which would also include social media posts, by the way. Now ask yourself this: what in the name of Eamon Ryan's salad box does this have to do with climate change? The whole point of the policy was supposedly to stop carbon emissions and save the earth, because turf, we were told, was dangerous contraband that was killing the planet. It might as well be radioactive waste or something, it was so toxic and evil. That was the narrative. So if we're now letting people cut, burn and sell it, then what exactly is the point of banning ads? What's that supposed to achieve? If turf is as bad for the environment as they claim, then this is as stupid as saying you can buy, sell and use heroin, but you can't post about it online. It's ludicrous in the extreme. So why would the government do it? Well, the answer is they've painted themselves into a corner where they feel they need the Greens to maintain stability and keep the wolf of Sinn Féin at bay. And so this watered down policy is essentially to placate their smaller coalition partner. But in trying to keep Eamon Ryan happy, they've shot themselves in the foot severely with the general public. It's also probably to save face and embarrassment and make the new policy seem like a slight course correction rather than a pathetic retreat. But to be frank, you didn't have to have a genie or a crystal ball to predict this outcome. All you'd want to have is a modicum of common sense, which is a resource which apparently our leaders have lost somewhere in the supply chain. Of course, if you ask the government official for the rationale for banning turf initially, they'd tell you it was for the greater good of the planet and that we're in a climate crisis, you know, yada yada, all the greatest hits that we've heard from them over the past few years. And that's all well and good if you're a Green TD, an environmental activist or an NGO worker with money to blow. But that's just not how Middle Ireland sees it, particularly rural people who rely on turf. With home heating bills and the cost of living going up like a rocket, average punters across Ireland already felt like they were being driven to the brink financially. And then they turn on the news to find out not only is the government not helping them in this, but politicians are actually conspiring to remove existing fuel sources that are readily available. And that's not even to mention the carbon tax increase a few months back. People essentially feel like they went crawling on their hands and knees to their elected representatives for help in a moment of crisis, and instead of help, they received a swift kick in the stones for their trouble. And in fairness, that's not far off what actually happened. And by the way, if you feel like these videos give you a voice and articulate views that you don't hear elsewhere in the media, please consider signing up for a monthly donation of €5 or €10 a month, whatever you can afford, to help us keep doing what we do. But regardless, the point is, all of this is important because policies like this have a measurable impact on public opinion, as a recent Irish Times poll has shown. The government's support is after making a sharper nosedive than a Japanese zero in World War II, setting at the coalition's lowest result ever. They're currently about as welcome as a fart in a phone box in most parts of Ireland. Obviously, you can't attribute that solely to the turf issue, that would be ridiculous, but it absolutely contributes to the situation and is emblematic of a larger malaise felt by the voting public at large. Fine Gael TDs even believed that this issue could bring down the government, it was so serious. Responding to the recent poll results, the Taoiseach said that he wouldn't let the results change the government's policy by having any, quote, knee-jerk reactions to the figures. So in other words, we're staying the course on our horrendously unpopular agenda. But a knee-jerk reaction is what you do when something happens suddenly. There's been nothing sudden about this slow-motion car crash. Poll after poll has shown the same trajectory for months. This would be like saying you shouldn't have a knee-jerk reaction to being slowly flattened in a hydraulic press. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. The Greens, it seems, may successfully do what Sinn Féin never managed to: kill Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil stone dead. Please like and share this video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider signing up for a monthly donation via the link on screen to help us produce more content like this. Alternative media like Gript needs all the assistance it can get, and every donation goes a long way. As always, thanks for watching.